After the invention of the telegraph, innovators realized messages could be sent through waves. So people started looking on ways to send electric signals using radio waves. The first radio station started broadcasting in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania in the 1920s. Within 2 years, hundreds of stations were started. Radio was a major source of home entertainment. Can you imagine if that was the way that you hung out with your family instead of sitting around watching a movie where you can see the picture? During this time, people would use the radio as their form of entertainment. The invention of the antenna made it possible for the waves to be sent across distances. By the 1920s, the use of radios became very popular. It was a faster way to hear news than through newspapers. By the 1930s, more than half the homes in America owned a radio. Radios would air dramas and comedies to entertain people. So imagine your movies being heard through the radio. Some cons about using the radio was that they had poor sound at first, but with new innovations, broadcast stations were able to reach longer distances and the sound became more clear. Also, radios became more compact and people could take it to different places. Our next invention was the television. And people were amazed with the invention of the television. Some people called it a radio with pictures. The first electric television was created in 1927. So here you have a progression of the televisions over time. The first television was invented by an American named Charles Jenkins. By 1931, his invention was being sold in a kit at stores in America. So before this, people were able to communicate through telegraph in short messages. Then we could hear news over the radio. And when people could see picture on a TV screen in their house, it was amazing. Most of the first TVs were big and boxy, like you can see, not like our TVs today. At first, all televisions used an antenna. This would pick up television programs from broadcasting stations. A TV station could be miles away and still be received. The first televisions were in black and white. The first TV stations were created in the 1930s. During the 1950s, television became very popular. So you can see there what the television looked like in the 1950s. Since then, there have been many changes to the television sets. In 1966, televisors came in color. So look here, color. And look, they used to have a dial on the side of the TV. There was no remote. Eventually, remotes were added to televisions. There were more TV stations too. Today, televisions are sleek and have amazing picture quality. They have become more affordable, and practically everybody owns a TV today. The first television weighed 904 pounds. Today, televisions can usually be picked up by one person or two if it's so big that you need to carry it. Mrs. Bass's first television was like this, where the flat screen was in the front and it was heavy in the back, and it was pretty heavy to carry back and forth to places. You should ask your grandparents about what their TVs were like when they were younger. I hope you enjoyed learning about the television and radio, and watch the extra videos included below.